So you have a big project that you're working on, and it's late in the workday. You're running out of steam. You're headed over to the break room to get yourself a cup of coffee. No, no, don't do that. I'm Dr. Hamilton Stubbs. I'm a double board certified sleep specialist and a certified nutrition specialist. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Click the button subscribe. Don't forget to hit notifications so you know when I upload another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about sleep hygiene and why you don't want to drink caffeine late in the afternoon. So let's get started. Caffeine is a great stimulant for keeping you awake. When we have people drink caffeine and send them into a sleep lab, we can actually look at the brainwave pattern and tell who had the caffeine and who didn't. Caffeine will cause your brain waves to have a very rapid pattern. And even if you try to get into deep stages of sleep, this rapid pattern will sit on top of those deep sleep waves. So let's talk about the 4 stages of sleep. You have your N1, which is the light and drowsy state. You have N2, which is the first true stage of sleep, and you have to be in a sleep lab in order to properly identify this, although there are some sleep trackers that say they can help with identifying that. And we're looking for large waves that show a slowing in the brain activity, and we have sharp little spindles, rapid little bursts of waves that come from the deep center of the brain, which signals that, hey, you're about to go to sleep. And then we have deep sleep. This is the stage of sleep that a lot of people talk about. It is very restorative, and these are huge waves that come kind of slowly over time. And then you have dream sleep. Dream sleep is rapid eye movement sleep, and this is where if someone wakes you up, you're most likely to remember your dreams, but you actually dream in all the stages of sleep. Dream sleep is also a very restorative state of sleep. This is where we get some muscle being repaired, and we also get memory being consolidated. But you actually need all 4 of these stages of sleep to have a healthy sleep structure, and we cycle through these through the night. Caffeine is something that is a wonder drug. Now, we drink it as a beverage, but it is actually a stimulant that I use as a drug. And I use it to help people stay awake, but I use it by timing when to drink it and how much to drink. Caffeine works by sitting on the receptors that block adenosine. Adenosine accumulates, it's a protein byproduct that accumulates as we stay awake, and it accumulates and starts to sit on these receptors that stimulate a need to go to sleep. And when you go to sleep, the receptors get cleaned off and you wake up and you feel refreshed. Now, this doesn't have to be limited to the nighttime. You can take a nap and wake up refreshed. So when you drink caffeine, the caffeine sits on the receptor and it blocks the adenosine. Like, this is your receptor. Here's the adenosine trying to get in there. Caffeine will block this so that it can't get in there. And when that happens, the receptor stays empty and you stay awake. The problem with drinking caffeine too close to bedtime is that it stays in the body a long time. It sort of depends on your age and your health, and if you're taking certain medicines that use the same kind of metabolic pathways. But in general, caffeine can stay in your body anywhere from 4 to 8 hours and even longer in the brain. So when we have people who've drank a lot of caffeine go into the sleep lab, many of them can fall asleep. In fact, I hear people telling me when they come into my office that they can drink all the coffee, tea, or caffeinated beverages that they want and they fall asleep okay. Well, it's the staying asleep part that's the problem. Caffeine wakes you up. Even if you don't become fully alert and conscious, it changes your sleep structure from being a deep sleep into one that has these little bursts of wakefulness on top of it. And this is the same pattern of sleep that we see in people with chronic diseases and, who are acutely ill. So when you are very ill, you may not sleep very well. And that's one of the complaints of people with chronic illnesses. They just don't seem to get good quality sleep. So you don't want to duplicate that pattern of sleeping voluntarily. When it's late in the afternoon and you need a burst of energy, here's some things you can do instead. Put the coffee away. Make sure that you're hydrated, drinking just adequate amounts of water, and I like purified water with minerals, can wake you up. It's like if you had a flower and the flower was wilting in the sun. If you put that flower in some water, the flower is going to wake up. That will happen with you too if you're dehydrated. The other thing is, if it's available to you, go outside. The sunlight will help wake you up. And the last thing is, do some movement. Now, the number one thing I like to do is jump on a rebounder. If you have space in your office, you can jump on the rebounder for 5 or 10 minutes and get the same level of wakefulness as if you were drinking the coffee without having caffeine hanging around in the body, blocking the receptors that you want to stimulate so that you can go to sleep at night. So I hope this has helped you understand why I don't recommend drinking caffeine late in the day and using other options to boost wakefulness. I'm Dr. Hamilton Stubbs. I'm a double board certified sleep specialist, certified nutrition specialist, and an expert in insomnia. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will. And if I said something you like, give me a thumbs up. And if you know somebody that needs this information, why don't you share it with them?